Hey guys, Rivet here. Welcome back to another vlog. Oh, what are you looking at today, camera? Yeah, I have noticed that my camera does not necessarily enjoy locking in on my face when it's in a mask, which I get. At no point did I expect the developers of this particular camera to understand the nuances of the new world and do face detect inside cameras, inside masks. So I'm fine. But yeah, I'm a bit of a different venue than you guys are probably used to seeing. I had to walk to work today. So I'm recording this on Friday. Hopefully the lighting and everything works. I don't really care. I'm tired. Roughly about 3 hours worth of walking today before I actually have to work. So I'm on my way back home. And yeah, it is what it is. I had to go in. There was a fiscal year gift type thing they needed us to get. So I went in and grabbed it. It's cool. A couple little odds and ends and a gift card. And, you know, it is, as they say, better than a kick in the pants. Worth the walk? Yeah, probably. I needed the exercise. I'm becoming a bit of a fat ass. But that's just because of the fact of the year. It is dark in here, I see. Not to worry. I'm only in an underpass here for a few more minutes, or moments, I should say. We're walking in a new area, and I'm not really comfortable. There's a lot of highways that I've had to walk through and stuff, and this is a train track area. We can see down here. Whee! Train tracks as far as the eye can see. And I see a train down there. A little ways off. But it's going to be a lot of traffic today. What the fuck are you looking at, camera? Come on. It is... What the fuck? Hello? Camera. I'm right here. There you go. Okay. It has lost its ever-loving mind. As I was saying, I didn't expect this camera to be able to handle the nuances of my mask wearing abilities. So anyway, let's talk about the week. See what's happened. Tuesday was the official release of the Xbox. Dear God, every fucking truck. I swear to God, I really hate trucks. Fucking sounds they make, everything. Annoyance. Especially pissed off at trucks because one tried to run me down earlier today. Just drove right through a fucking stop sign as I was starting to walk through it. Moron. But this is what you get when you have to walk through an industrial complex. You need to make a vlog. So, anyway. Jesus. So, Tuesday was the official first date for the release of the Xbox on the 10th. So I went out first thing in the morning because I thought, well, I don't think I'm going to be getting my processor anytime this year. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be getting the graphics card upgrade, so let's see if we can go get an Xbox. So I went out, there's EB Games, which we have here in Canada instead of GameStop, and Walmart, and both of them only had consoles for pre-orders. They didn't have any extras for sale, so I wasn't able to get one. So I was like, oh, year of no tech for me. And so I went home, and as a joke, I was getting ready for work, and I'm like, hop on Amazon, see if they've got anything. And I had the Xbox One X, or Series X, sorry, bookmarked, and not in stock. And then it said, the S was right next to it. I'm like, oh, I'll check the S. And they had it. I was like, what? So I clicked add to cart, completed shipping, arriving Saturday. I was like, hell yeah. Placed the order, went through. Went back in to take a look, gone. The only prices were like $1,200 from scalpers. I was like, I have no idea how I did it, but I got one. So I was like, okay, cool. This weekend I have off. I'll get my Xbox in. Everything will be peachy. And then I got a bee in my bonnet. I was like, well, Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out, and that's supposed to be cross-platform play. So if I buy it for the Xbox One, I can get it and play it on the new Series X, and I can see the differences. So I bought it, and the game I'm enjoying so far, by the way. Then I got an email on Wednesday night that my Xbox had shipped. It was arriving Thursday by 8 p.m. So I was like, oh, on PlayStation 5 Day nonetheless, I'm getting my Xbox. And then I started working at noon. Not 5 minutes into me working, there's a knock on my door, and I just got done a call, put myself on pause, went and opened my door, there was my Xbox. So on my break, I set it up, and then set it to download the games that I wanted. And then after work last night, I played a little bit. So far, so good. I'm liking it. I wasn't sure at first, to be honest. Adjust my microphone. So there's explanations. Let's put it out there. The setup process on it's amazing. I will give them absolute respect for how they do it. The thing is tiny, by the way. Smallest console that I've ever owned. I'm thinking the only thing I've had roughly the same size, I think it was like the old Game Gear, like that old handheld thing. Like, it's not that big. It's roughly 2/3 the size of the Xbox One S that I have. It's maybe a little bit taller, but it's a lot shorter. Quiet, no noise, nothing. So anyway, when you open it up, you know, the box, you open the box, there's this little Xbox sitting inside of it. You're like, what happened to it? Why did it shrink? Like, it's way smaller than you expect. So you hook it up. When it starts up, it tells you to download the app for your phone. So I had it on my phone anyway. So I went in and it said, you want to set up your new Xbox. So I was like, okay. There was a code on my screen. Punched in the code. They talk to one another. And then you set up the thing from your phone. And the only problem I ran into was, and it's not the Xbox's fault, it's my Wi-Fi. My router doesn't handle some of the newer interfaces very well. I had this with the laptop that I bought recently and the Xbox. For whatever reason, they'll connect to the internet, but they won't download through Wi-Fi. So I just ran a cable to it and it was fine. So, which is what I wanted to do anyway, so it wasn't, a big deal. But I was like, oh, gotta pull a cable out. So I had to go in my closet and get a cable. But games installed. Got a 500 gig hard drive on it, which is like the only grievance. But I was thinking, it's like, to be honest, I'm not going to have that many of the high-end titles to start off with. Like, right now, we've got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order that I'm playing. We've got that installed. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that's installed. And then the odd Microsoft game, when it comes out on the Game Pass, I'll put those on. And I'm roughly running, I got about half hard drive space now, and I've got 3 games. I got Doom Eternal, Star Wars, and Assassin's Creed. And that's enough games to keep me busy for a while, and enough variation to keep me busy. I can throw in a couple of the little, smaller titles, and that won't be any issue. But yeah, so far so good. I'm digging it. Wasn't sure about the graphics quality. So my monitor I have, it's a 4K monitor that I've got it hooked up to. I knew it would run 1440p. So I did that. And then I was thinking, it's like, well, what's the reason you're running it at 1440p? You can't record at it. You're only going to be recorded at 1080. If you run it at 1080 and you get really good quality out of it and high speed, then you're fine. So I set it to 1080, You can actually adjust some of the settings in the graphics for some of the games, and it looks great. Assassin's Creed, the beginning of the game is kind of dark. There's not a whole lot of coloring, and the HDR kind of makes it look a little bit darker than it is too. But it works. But I got to a point where I came into like a village type of thing where it was sunlight, and then I realized suddenly that, oh dear God, this looks good. Like PC graphics quality good for me at 1080p. I'm like, okay. So suddenly this, $300 gaming console could be decent. Swear to God, how many fucking trucks can pass by you? That's all it's been. I swear to God. I hate this place. I really do. But yeah, so and that's Assassin's Creed. Now, Jedi Fallen Order, they said that a bunch of the older titles will be updated to run on this thing. I haven't seen a marked improvement in it. The background visuals look good, but for whatever reason, the character models are just washed out. Like they look like they're just fuzzy. Like they don't look clear. They don't look good to me at all. But the game's fun, so play it, enjoy it. With the Xbox Game Pass, because I ended up getting the Ultimate one. But with that now, it gives me access to EA on console and on PC sometime in December. Console now, PC in December. So I'll be able to download that onto my computer, and then that'll be a lot different. So that's probably what I'll end up doing, because I don't blame the Microsoft or the Xbox for the washed out visual graphics on a game that was made last year. It's not their fault. But Doom looks great. And everything runs really good. I love the new controller. It seems a little smaller in the hand. Kind of grippy. It's got like a gnarled surface, or knurled surface, however you want to call it. Bumps on the where your fingers put. The triggers feel good. There's an extra button I haven't really used yet. I haven't really dug deep into it. I was kind of expecting those things like welcome to your Xbox thing, a bunch of videos and stuff. There wasn't anything with this, so I'm not too sure. Well, I don't really care. I can always look stuff up online. That's not the end of the world. But yeah, I'm digging it. I'm going to enjoy this quite a bit. So yeah, I'll be recording a lot from it, which is part of what I was doing. So as for the rest of my tech, I'm still waiting on getting the new processor. We'll see whichever is available. 5900X is the one I was leaning towards, which would be good if I can get it, but I'm not too sure if I want to. I could probably get the 5600X, and with the money I've saved on that processor downgrade and not getting the Xbox One X, that extra money I could put towards a graphics card is part of my thoughts, so I can have all the little bells and whistles that I want. So the 5600X, great processor. Like, it's going toe to toe with a lot of stuff, and when you get down to it, it runs with everything else. So I think it'll be a decent upgrade for this year, or for the next couple of years, to be honest. And then upgrade the graphics card potentially. We'll see. I'm not 100%. I think what I have in my system right now should be sufficient for a while, and that's kind of where I'm leaning, is that AMD's only announced the X series for the processors, and those have always been more expensive, and there's really never been a justified reason to purchase them. like a 100 megahertz uptick, but it's never been great. And I've always been a proponent of getting the non-X version. So they haven't announced them yet. Those may be announced in December or early next year. And, you know, if they announce it like within the next couple of weeks or before it comes back in stock, I might wait and pick one of those up. But also for the graphics card side of things, who knows what's on the horizon? I mean, everything that I'm hearing is like NVIDIA is scrambling, trying to find an answer to AMD's new video cards, and they haven't even hit the market yet. So it's going to be an interesting Christmas to see what NVIDIA comes up with. There's already talks of, what is it, a 3070 Ti and a 3080 Ti and a 3060 Ti and like more RAM than the current models. And so it's, yeah, I think by throwing 16 gigs of RAM at everything, AMD has kind of shown what they're up to. And I don't think NVIDIA was prepared for the direct competition. I think they were expecting probably 80% of what AMD delivered. So it's going to be an interesting year, like I said. It's going to be very interesting for that. So that's my tech talk. The other thing I wanted to address is, so Tuesday, Xbox release day. Thursday, I get my Xbox. Wednesday was a very important day for me too. I haven't talked about it yet. Here in Canada, November 11th is Remembrance Day. That's where we take time to remember friends, family that have served in the military and have either passed or, you know, just appreciating their service. Jeff Bezos learned a hard lesson on Wednesday about how much Canada respects the date. Canadians wear poppies, and it's just a little on your lapel, and it's just a piece of felt. It's nothing to look at. It means the world to Canadians. And Whole Foods decided to say that they wouldn't allow Canadians to wear poppies at work. Immediately, Canadians collectively lost their minds. It's like you took away our Tim Hortons. And there was a quick turnabout, and it was allowed. It's fun when you have a person from another country that doesn't understand the importance of things in my country, you know. And you know, we're pretty much a laid-back group of people. Just don't piss us off, because you know, things like that we stand for. I personally have had a lot of family members that have served in the military, and especially this year, it's important to me. I've talked about before, but my paternal grandfather served in World War I, and I've got a paternal uncle that served in World War II, his son, my dad's brother. And now he just passed away past June. 96 years old. Was one of Canada's longest surviving World War II veterans. A shit ton of accommodations, and like, he landed in Normandy. He was a bit of a badass, and it left a mark on him. And after he came back from the war, he was different. I only knew him after the war. He was my uncle. I thought he was cool. Everyone else in the family thought he was different. Again, they knew him from before. They didn't know the man that came back after. And that's the only man I knew. I loved him. He taught me a few lessons as a child that were important to me, like how to defend myself and to stand up for myself, and to understand that not fighting is an option. And that's another thing my grandfather told me. And it seemed that both of them came back from the war with a similar opinion of that, you know, they did what they did. They don't regret what they did. But they also don't think that fighting is the end all be all. And I think when you're a young man, that I think it's an important lesson to learn. And the other thing that is that trauma that they all come back with. Hello, is there a billboard you saw? That was noted in the last video, is that the billboards were being seen by this camera and going, hey, that's a face. So again, I don't know tons of people that have been and served, but I do understand the trauma that and how it affects them when they get back. And you know, it's PTSD. You know, they called it shell shock at one point, and you know, it finally has a term. But I have a feeling that all of us are going to be dealing with some of this for the next little while. I think that this year has definitely fucked a lot of us up. I'm coping best I can, and you know, do what you can, but there's a lot of folks that aren't. There's a lot of folks that are hurting right now, that are in a lot of pain because they can't cope with the world being turned upside down. And you know, and I think we're going to have to do a bunch as a society over the course of the next few years to make sure that everybody that needs help gets it, because it's not going to be an easy transition for a lot of folks. I don't think swallowing a hair, having my mask on, my beard hair fell off. One of them went in my throat or my mouth, and while talking it's gone down my throat. Not a fun thing. But anyway, so what I was saying is that I think that we're going to need to take, you know, care of folks here in a little while. And I think that after wars, we tended to ignore folks and the pain that they were in. But this is going to affect everybody. I think we're going to have to address it very quickly, because people are at the breaking point now as it is. And if it doesn't get any better soon, some people are just like, it's rough. And I keep on seeing, you know, the numbers increase in the States, like exponentially. And it's at a point where you wonder what needs to be done, you know. I know personally what I've seen work, a lot of people don't agree with, is just locking it down. Wear masks, stay in, don't go out, you know, don't be around people if you don't have to. Have your circle of friends and family that you live with, and that's it, you know. The rest of it, see you in a few months, you know. And I think that if we had all done that, you know, the numbers that we had seen in New Zealand and Australia could have been here as well, because we're seeing a huge spike in my country, and that has been now attributed directly to, well, schools being reopened, the lackadaisical. Like right now we're getting more cases than we did at the height of when we shut things down. And if you walk around, everything seems normal. It's weird. It's like there's more people dying, but less worrying about it. And I don't get it. But you know, locking things down and taking a break again, it's going to be rough to recover from economically again. But what's harder to recover from? A mass population dying off? I don't know. You know, I personally, I worry about people, and I'd much rather see people safe than harmed. So my choice is to wear my mask. Again, I don't just wear this for me. I wear it for everybody else around me. I would much rather be safe. If I'm sick, I don't want somebody else to catch this. You know, I would hate for that. I would hate to have it and know that I gave it to somebody else because I was being an idiot. I don't think I would recover from that, to be honest. You know, even if I recovered from the disease, but if I knew that I'd given it to somebody else and they didn't do so well, that weight, I don't know. Don't know. But anyway, it's been a week, and I'm closing in on the halfway point to getting home. My feet are sore, my legs ache, and I still have to work this afternoon. I haven't even had my coffee yet today because I didn't want to have to go pee. I'm like, okay, you got a 3-hour walk ahead of you. Good luck. And I got my mints to keep me hydrated. That's it. Nah, I'll get a bottle of water here in a little bit. Anyway, wow. The sky looks interesting today. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are doing well. I do want to thank you ever so much for everything here. The channel will be what it is. I'm trying. I've been doing okay maintaining 2 a day. So I think I found a pattern and I'm okay. But I'm going to change things up. You'll see. We'll see what we can do. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.